Yo, what is going on? It's your boy Dan, aka aDrive, with you guys a little vlog here talking about the GBA and the St. Louis Rampardos, what we did in Season 4, and what we're going to be doing moving on. Now, I know there's a lot of people who have been asking a lot of questions about the UCL, the GBA, and all sorts of other leagues, and I want to clear the air before we start anything here. Yes, I am doing the UCL, and I am going to be the St. Louis Rampardos once again, yet again, but I am not leaving the GBA. The GBA still has the playoffs coming up, and I have all intentions to stay with the GBA. The UCL is a group of different people. There's a few similar people. Nips, myself, and Shady are all from the GBA, but I don't believe any of us have the intention of actually leaving the GBA to join the UCL. It's going to be both. You have to understand that the GBA is going to be on a break for the next few months after the playoffs, so keep an eye out for the playoff videos, obviously, and there's going to be like a 2 or 3 month break before Season 5 starts. So I have some time there, so I wanted to continue putting out the content. I love this format, guys, and I couldn't pass up an opportunity to play with the legends like Nappy and Shady and Nexus and Mo and all my friends on YouTube. So very excited to do the UCL. And the draft, again, as a repeat, will be on Monday and Tuesday from noon Eastern Standard Time going to about 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it will be on the King Nappy's Twitch channel, so twitch.tv/KingNappy, I believe. Now, what this video is about is I'm actually going to have a link in the description so you guys can follow along, but I wanted to go through some of the Pokemon on the team, on the, on the GBA team, the St. Louis Rampardos, after our 9-1 season, and I kind of want to just run through some of the stats, because if you guys don't know, I'm a big numbers guy. I like to run through stats. I like to talk about stats, and I kept track. I think I was the only person in the league who might have done this, but I kept track of every single Pokemon and their stats. So I wanted to go through those because I thought it'd be kind of fun. So kicking things off, we've actually got, I think I can actually make it show up behind me. Yeah, right there. So we've actually got the first Pokemon is, looks like my webcam's kind of bugging out a wee bit. Let me try to fix it really quickly. Maybe I could fix it. Maybe I can't fix it. I don't know. We're gonna try it. Sorry about that. Anyway, first Pokemon we're gonna talk about is Mega Sableye. Mega Sableye actually picked up 8 kills. You can see the first column is starts, kills, deaths, and special. So I only magic bounced twice back as far as what I remember. I got 8 kills and 3 deaths, and I brought it to 8 out of my 9 matchups. Remember, I finished 9-1, but we only played for 9 weeks. So 8 out of the 9 weeks I brought it. The only time I lost was when I didn't bring Mega Sableye. Coincidence? I think not. Our next Pokemon is Mew, which also finished the season at 8 kills, playing 8 out of the 9 matches. Did something unexpected. I have some notes for that, as you can see, with the little triangle, but did some cool things like tricking the Clefable early on in the season, also carrying Expert Belt a few times, running some funky sets, and I remember the analyst said at the beginning of the season, like, aDrive's gonna have to bring Defog every single week. He's gonna have to bring Defog Mew every single week. He's not gonna be able to keep that versatility of what Mew actually does. And they were wrong, because I only brought Defog, I believe, once or maybe twice this season, despite not having a Rapid Spinner. We did a great job keeping Stealth Rocks off the field, and I think my opponents just didn't even try because of Sableye. So really, really cool there. The fact that it was tied for the team lead in kills is really awesome as well. Our next Pokemon was Terrakion. Now, Terrakion's really interesting because we brought it to 6 games out of the 9 games, but it only actually attacked in, I think, 3 of the games. I believe 3 of the games it didn't even get brought in, and it finishes the season 4-2, which is kind of interesting because it was our first round pick. It was meant to be the destroyer of everything, and I didn't even really do anything with it. I didn't even really bring it. I kind of used it early in the season as just a deterrent. I wanted my opponents to plan for it, and then me not bring it, and me be able to kind of beat them out with my other strategies, and it worked out really well, and it continued to work out, especially as the season progressed, and I actually did bring Terrakion. Picking up 4 kills is nothing to laugh at. A couple of those kills are actually against John. It almost beat John. If he didn't bring Focus Sash Sigilyph, we would have potentially beaten John there, because his last 2 mons were banded. We would have outsped, whatever. But Terrakion finishes 4-2. Which I think the analysts predicted it would have less than 6 kills this season, and they were right. I realized after drafting it that it didn't really fit into my playstyle, and I would have been better off picking something else, but what it does do is it forces my opponent to prepare for it, and it has done so all season, and because of that, it's been a very, very huge asset. I do plan on utilizing it in the playoffs, but we will see what the matchup looks like. Our next Pokemon was actually my 3rd overall pick, I think, right? 3rd overall. I don't know, might have been 2nd overall, but it is Volcarona, the borderline pick, and Volcarona only went to 3 different matches out of my 9, and only has 1 kill, which is that critical hit on the Conkelder against Shady. Died twice, and didn't really do anything, unfortunately. I didn't find it fitting into my lineup too much this season. That doesn't mean I'm not going to use it in the playoffs, but I just didn't really like how it fit in a lot of the matchups I had. I know Volcarona is one of those Pokemon. You get a Quiver Dance, it is going to wreck lives. And I think in some ways it's similar to Terrakion in that my opponent has to prepare for it, but if they don't, I can wreck through them. If they do, and I don't bring it, then, you know, I'm good there. So, didn't really do too much. But I think one of the, you know, maybe unnoticed MVPs of this team is the next Pokemon, which is Nidoqueen, which I believe is the last pick I had overall, or one of my last regular picks. And Nidoqueen actually picked up 6 kills, 5 deaths. It brought it to 6 out of my 9 matches, and it actually killed 3 fairies. So that was my fairy killer there. So, good job to you, Nidoqueen. Ugh, excuse me. So Nidoqueen put in the work. Now, of course, we have Slurpuff, the opposite of putting in the work. Didn't do anything. Slurpuff actually was not brought to a single match this season out of my 9. Does that mean I'm not going to bring it? We'll see in the playoffs. I wanted to use it. I had planned to use it, but unfortunately, it didn't really do anything. But what it did do, again, I hate to keep bringing up the same point, but it deterred my opponent from bringing like 2 or 3 dragons and just clicking Outrage because from preparation standpoint, it wouldn't make sense because Slurpuff would handle him pretty well. So there was that. Archeops. Now, Archeops, I got a lot of flack for drafting Archeops. It is a top threat in the NU tier. But of course, after it gets dropped down below 50%, it is essentially kind of useless in a way. But it was able to pick up a kill, which was huge. And that kill actually was probably one of the bigger kills of the season. The fact that I was able to hit a Stone Edge on a Togekiss and kill it, and actually live an Air Slash on a Togekiss when Cooper was running the Bright Powder Togekiss. Died twice, but it did get that 1 kill. And to me, that kill was worth it. It was worth it. I only brought it twice, but sometimes you just gotta bring Archeops. Sorry, I don't know why I had this like yawning issue where I just yawn sometimes. Next 2 Pokemon were brought every single week, and that is no coincidence that we did so well. Rotom Wash going 6 and 5. Didn't actually trick anything, but Rotom Wash, I ran a bunch of different sets from dual screens to Expert Belt, I believe, to Scarf, to Specs, to HP Poison. I ran so many different things with this Rotom Wash, and it's such a Pokemon that people look at as being like very, very one-dimensional, maybe two-dimensional, but I made it do so many things. I was very, very happy with how it handled both an offensive role and a defensive role on our team that otherwise Pokemon were not able to handle. So I'm really, really excited about how Rotom Wash performed this season. And I brought it to all 9 matches, and it handles so many things well because its typing is so unique, and it's only weak to grass types, so really, really cool. The other Pokemon that was brought to every single match was, of course, Chansey, the big pink blob that nobody likes, but I happen to like it. It countered 3 different Pokemon and actually picked up 6 kills this season, so really, really impressive showing from Chansey. To give you guys like a perspective, the league leader in the league for kills, I think, had 17 kills in 10 matches. I only played 9 matches, so you know, 8 kills, 6 kills, that tends to sit towards the, you know, the upper third of the league in terms of kills. So 6 kills for a Pokemon like Chansey, I would say, is pretty good. It died 6 times, so what it did more than anything, it paralyzed, it poisoned, it killed big threats with counter, it provided team support, and it allowed me to gain momentum by sponging hits and blocking huge specially and physically offensive threats, and I would say it did its job. Now, the next Pokemon you guys are probably pretty familiar with is Vileplume. Vileplume, of course, was known for being on the Sunny Day team I ran against Shady Penguin, and it destroyed Shady's team. I could have probably picked up a few more kills with it, but it ends up finishing 3 and 2 after getting critted by the Sylveon, and then finishing 3 and 1 in the match against Shady, picking up 3 kills and doing really, really well against Shady's team. So very, very happy with Vileplume. I ended up dropping Kling Klang, which I never used, to pick up Vileplume, and that ended up being a very, very good decision on our part, and it turned out to be pretty effective. Don't be surprised if you see Vileplume again in the playoffs. I like it as a lower tier mon, and I think running it with Sunny Day and that kind of stuff is very unexpected and very awesome. And last but not least, one of my favorite Pokemon in the game, especially in the lower tiers, is Gourgeist. And I did bring Gourgeist only one time, and I brought it as Gourgeist Super. Now, that one week I brought it was against Gym Leader Geo. Excuse me. I brought it against Gym Leader Geo, and I was able to actually take down Mega Swampert with it and hold out the Politoed for long enough. I didn't get the Destiny Bond, anything, but I was able to pick up a kill. And Gorgai Super is really, really bulky from the physical side, handles Mega Swampert like a champ, and I was very, very happy with how it performed. But that's going to be our team wrap-up. I just kind of wanted to talk through some of these statistics because I thought they were cool. I have details on every kill and all that stuff, and hopefully you guys enjoyed. Hopefully you guys are stoked for the playoffs, and don't forget the UCL draft is coming up on Monday and Tuesday. The St. Louis Rampardos will be representing, so I'm very excited for that. And that's going to be it for me, guys. You guys have been absolutely amazing supporting the St. Louis Rampardos all season. Playoffs are coming. We're playing either Shady or Pokemon John, so we got one of those two guys coming up. Shady we've beaten twice. John we lost to. He was our only loss, so it's going to be a good match either way, and I'm very, very excited. And that's going to be it for me, guys, the coach of your St. Louis Rampardos. My name is Dan Ellis. Go by aDrive. Peace.